And welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. Our president, the pothead? Really? Kevin Jackson is on the line with us. He's the executive director of the Black Sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E, columnist and syndicated radio host. TheBlackSphere.net is the website. Kevin, welcome back to the program.
Good to be with you, Tom.
Thank you for joining us. The Opiate of the Masses is the title of the piece on your website, theblacksphere.net. And you assert, you ask, why are legislators rushing to propose legalization of marijuana? To understand this, I believe we need look no further than Karl Marx. I've actually read both Capital and the Communist Manifesto, which Engels co-authored, and found no reference to drugs anywhere in there. What are you talking about?
Well, your producers probably should have told you. Scott Muncher is a writer that writes for me there, and they ask, what were my thoughts on it? I think that Scott, though I certainly don't believe everything that my writers write about, what I do believe is that we have become a nation that says, let's sort of make it a free-for-all when it comes to drugs. And for the record, I'm one of these people that says if you're an individual, do what you wish. If I happen to be traipsing about in the forest and stumble upon a mushroom and it looks enticing to me and I want to go through a hallucinogenic trip, who's to stop me? But I do believe
the federal government right now.
Well, well, that's the point. The federal government would. But the point is that we're starting to go down this slope, and I think that the government should be genuine in saying what it's really after, which is tax revenue. Government has proven that it's willing to allow drugs to be used if it can get revenue from it. Cigarettes are a good example. Liquor is another good example. And the legalization of marijuana, you would think that the lobbies for the anti-cigarette lobbies and things like that would be fighting this tooth and nail because the studies are that marijuana is worse on your lungs than cigarettes. Who wants secondhand smoke, Tom?
Studies don't actually say that. Kevin.
Well, studies do say that. We can both cite studies that say one thing or the other.
I don't think you can, actually.
Well, yes, I can.
Give me a citation then.
I don't look. I'm not on your show to give you that. I can guarantee you that there are people that say smoking of marijuana or cannabis is as bad, if not worse, for your lungs than cigarette. But I would ask you this: should I be breathing in anybody's smoke, whether it's skunk weed or cigarettes? Cannabis smells like skunk. Why would I want to breathe that in a restaurant any more than a cigarette? But nobody says anything because there's a potential to bring it up and get money from it. Be genuine about it. I don't care if people want to smoke marijuana. I wouldn't.
I agree with you, Kevin. I don't want anybody blowing smoke in my face, whether it's pot smoke or tobacco smoke, any more than I want them spraying cocaine in my face. But that's got nothing to do with decriminalizing pot for private use in your own home.
You know what? If you want to decriminalize pot, do it. But I'm saying be genuine about it with respect to take the same approach that you would take with cigarettes, take the same approach that you would take with liquor.
Well, that's what they're doing.
What do you mean that's what they're doing?
Colorado and Washington State are both taxing pot. And California taxes medical pot.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The federal government right now says that it is illegal to have those drugs, but they just relaxed the banking laws to say that you can put your money in a federal bank, in effect, laundering the money that comes from pot because the Fed is not for it. So again, spiraling in on itself. It's one or the other. Either you want it and you say, we condone it, we're going to tax it, it's legal, do what you want to do with it. But if it's not, don't let the banking system get a hold of it, because that's essentially what the federal government is saying. Barack Obama has personally said, I don't think pot's that big of a deal. Okay, if you believe that, then work towards it. Don't be disingenuous about it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. He has the power to take it off Schedule 1 and make it a Schedule 2 or 3 or 4, drug, make it basically a prescription drug. Tomorrow morning, and I personally think the reason he hasn't done it is political cowardice. You
know what? There's political cowardice because I don't know if you realize the stats, but 13 prescriptions per man, woman, and child in this country. We spend $898. I have the stats in front of me. $898 per person on prescription drugs. do it. You've got so many other drugs that you've legalized in one form or another. If you want to call it medicine, fine. I'm never going to take that medicine. But if people want to do it, don't be disingenuous. And that's kind of where I go with where government gets involved. They try to split too many hairs. Either you're for something or you're against it.
Okay, I don't disagree with any of that. Why then are you publishing an article that says, that people pushing recreational drug use of pot are doing it based on Karl Marx because he said religion is the opium of the people, and then your writer goes on to say one thing all good communists understand is it's easier to control people when they're weak, ignorant, or apathetic. Controlling Christians, however, can be problematic at best. Now you're saying Christians can stand up to this, but just a sentence earlier, you had quoted Karl Marx saying that the opium of the people was not opium; it was Christianity, it was religion.
Oh well, we do. I do.
I'm really confused by this.
I do believe that there is a. I won't call it a conspiracy. I don't think it's that far, but I do believe that there is something that says give the people sort of the thing that they want that's going to appease them. If it's drugs, and let's face it, Tom. When we're on a chemical, we're not ourselves. Will we agree? Will we both agree with that?
By and large.
And I think we would. By and large, we are. I know when I drink, I tend to just get a little lethargic. I don't think as clearly or whatever. I believe, and I think Scott does as well, who wrote the article, that by saying, let's drug the nation, I just gave you the stats, 13 prescription drugs per man, woman, and child. We're spending $898 per person.
No, I think we should ban advertising of this stuff. But did you drink coffee or tea today?
I did.
Do you do it every day?
I don't drink tea. I drink coffee about every day.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, we're all drug addicts here.
Well, look,
or drug users anyway, Kevin.
I mean, you can stretch caffeine and say that's a drug or whatever. There are chemicals in nature.
Caffeine's a drug.
You can say that caffeine is a drug, but caffeine's not a drug that's going to make me necessarily go and knock some old lady in the head to get more.
Well, I don't think pot is either. Caffeine is a psychoactive drug, and alcohol generally doesn't cause people to beat other people up to get more alcohol because it's legal. This is an argument for decriminalization.
I've seen some pretty mean drunks, but I'm not around drug culture enough to tell you definitively what potheads do or any other type of drug. But what I will tell you is we are a nation that has become dependent upon not caffeine, but drugs that certainly will alter the way that you behave. And I think that there is something to be said for having a culture that's just kind of hey, devil may care. I lived in China. And I will tell you, the Chinese, their approach to politics is, okay, so we got a new prime minister, no big deal. Politics gets done to them. Yeah. They have no input. And I think that they're
outside of Wall Street, where when the binge stuff was going on in the 80s and everybody was doing cocaine. My experience has been that when people have jobs, good jobs that they really like, and and life is good, they feel like they've got the American dream, they've got a middle class life, that they're not looking for drugs, they're not looking to get high, and that when things are falling apart, then drug use goes up. So shouldn't we be looking at the way 32 years of Reaganomics has eviscerated the middle class in America as being more of a problem if we've seen an increasing drug culture and we want to do something about it?
I don't know what the comment about Reaganomics. If there was a time to be using drugs in America, I would say it's under the Obamanation. If you want to look at why someone would decide to be desperate.
Yeah, the economy sucks. 32 years of Reaganomics has destroyed this country.
No, it isn't 32 years of Reaganomics. It's about 5 or 6 years.
It's been 32 years since we continued building our infrastructure.
Well, we can debate that one, Tom, but I will tell you, if you want to use drugs, this might be the time to do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, if they decriminalize it here in Washington, D.C., I might seriously consider. Kevin Jackson, theblacksphere.net is the website. Kevin, nice talking with you. Thanks for dropping by today. Thank you. We'll be back.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So, what do you think? Is pot the opiate of the masses? Or would that be opium?